Hello, amazing people. I hope that you have been doing great and that the previous season has not has not left you more hurt than you were before. I know we tackled a very deep and serious matter on family dynamics, but I am excited that we are on the 100th episode. Yay! Um, I am so excited. Thank you so much for listening in since the very first podcast we launched or we released to this one that is the 100th one. So you can clap for yourself, you can clap for me too. Yeah, and congratulations to us. We are all amazing people. We have amazing stories to tell. This is the Touching Lives podcast. My name is Lilian Favor. Call me Lilian Wairimu. And today I have an amazing person on board. Today we are going to talk about stuff that wanasema tuongee tutoke. It has been in my heart. It has been a discussion, but we have never had the courage to just point it out clear on social etiquette, on digital etiquette. And backstory, our guest, I met her during our program, a program that we did, creators economy program. I will tag it and I will tag them. And Daisy was like, I am excited for you, let's do the 100th podcast. And I was like, okay, someone is so excited for me, why not? So karibu sana Daisy. Yay. Yeah, thank you so much. Uh-huh. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Thank you. Mm. Yeah, so thank you for that. I think you you really gave me the psych because I was like, okay, it's not as big. You know how you can be taking small baby steps, and then when you were like, let's do the 100th podcast, let's shoot it. I was like, okay, why is this girl so happy? But anyway, thank you for accepting my formal invite. You can tell us who you are, what you do. I know Daisy also is a podcaster, and she does hey, hats off. Eh, tell us who you are, where we can get your podcast. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
who is the owner of Jumia, right? But
Yeah.
we know the owner of say Joanna K Cosmetics, right?
Mm-hmm,
You see,
mm-hmm,
see
mm-hmm.
the difference.
Yeah.
So I only work with business brands where the founders are the faces and people can publicly know who the owner is. You get, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of podcasting,
Mm-hmm.
I have a podcast known as Growing Out Loud.
Mm-hmm.
Growing Out Loud is a space where we talk about all things growth.
Mm-hmm.
Here, our tagline is for the dreamers who do,
Mm-hmm.
to mean that we dream big,
Mm-hmm.
but beyond just dreaming big, we take steps each and every single day to get us closer and closer to these dreams, right? So
Yeah.
it's available on YouTube and Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
and we are working on getting it on other platforms as well. And the reason why I keep uploading you for getting to 100 is
Mm-hmm.
because for me initially,
Mm-hmm.
I had a podcast
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 3 years back known as Life Through Gen Z Lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I published about 27 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got depressed
Mm-hmm.
and stopped doing it. So about a year ago, I started another podcast again,
Mm-hmm.
now exclusively on personal branding. So it's called Personal Branding Uncomplicated.
Mm-hmm.
Till I realized,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness, I don't think I want my podcast to exclusively be about personal branding.
Mm-hmm.
So I published 3 episodes and then again I stopped. And then now
Mm-hmm.
I now said the next time I'm doing this, I actually have to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Na lazima iwak. So the third time around,
Mm-hmm.
we are I think at episode 8 right now.
Yay!
Yay!
At,
These 8 episodes are actually, because the other two were only audio. This one is actually audio visual, to mean that we have it's videographed. We have it on YouTube, and then we also have the audio versions online. And then we even have pages for the podcast on social media. So I've been intentional this time around.
mm-hmm.
My numbers are still growing, but we thank the Lord for the far we've come. Yes,
Yeah.
that's Daisy in a nutshell.
Yeah, at least you are a personal branding person. I would give you the time to really tell us who you are, because I think this is one thing that most people do not appreciate, to just say who they are and what they do, because you never know who is listening to this podcast. So, and congratulations for the milestone. I hope and I am praying that you will go to like more than 100. Like, we will leave a legacy.
Absolutely. Hii lazima iwork. Na ukiona
Lazima
sitoi
iwork.
episodes, please mnitafute na mniulize what is happening. Lazima
Nitakupigia
iwork.
simu.
Yeah, we are very intentional.
Yeah. So on
Yeah.
just putting a mark on personal branding, because now you are a personal branding consultant. We have seen, or
Yes.
we are in a digital era, and people are posting out there. Si tumesema sasa, let us post what we do, let us say what we think online. And even as we
Yes.
talk about digital etiquette, how does personal branding and digital etiquette marry each other? Like, how do they come to one slate? Because are they two different things, or we can just post anything, people will get to know what you're doing? Digital etiquette and
Yes.
personal branding in one sentence. How do we bring both in one slate and still say this and this can work together?
I hear you. And I
Mm-hmm.
think first let's start by defining digital etiquette,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that we actually make a distinction, because these are two different things. They
Mm-hmm.
are sort of we would say they're cousins if we
Mm-hmm.
must, right? But they're not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So digital etiquette is like the rules of good behavior when you're using digital spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And digital spaces right now is anything. You see how we are conversing right now on a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
That's a digital space.
Mm-hmm.
How we show up on social media, how we show up on TikTok, the kind of comments that you leave on people's videos and content, right?
Mm-hmm.
How exactly do you interact when you're online? That's what digital etiquette is about, right? It's and now when you talk about etiquette, it means respect. It means awareness of how your actions affect others online, right? So let me actually start by saying, you know how we Kenyans know we can be quite something online.
We are
They
called
say
bullies.
do
We
not
are bullies.
yes. actually, let's just call a spade a spade. Kenyans are bullies online. We literally bullied our president out of Twitter, our former president out of Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And these days, have you seen on TikTok, if anyone just goes and decides to say anything wrong about Kenyans, Kenyans will flood the comment section and they will say disgusting things to these people. So first, okay, if you're talking shade and you're not being respectful, I get how people would, it's how we will come and fight for our own, right? And speak up for our own. But sometimes we take it too far. And sometimes someone has just put out, good content or just their own perspective on something, and then you come and find a lot of abusive words, on the comment section. These are the things now that we are actually discussing right now. So that's digital etiquette. Basically, the rules of good behavior when you're online. However, personal branding, like I said earlier, is how people experience you. It is how which you see now how they marry. When you're intentional with your personal brand, you're intentional with how people experience you. This means that you're controlling the narrative and you're controlling people's perception of you. If you want people to know you as someone who's serious, then it means that you show up as someone who's serious, both online and offline. If you want people to know by serious, maybe we could mean you want to show up on time. You always show up on time. If you said you do something by a certain time, you do that thing by that certain time. When you go online and you talk about what you do, you talk about it from a serious perspective, such that people can tell that you're putting intention. You're very intentional with the brand that you're trying to create. You see?
Yeah.
That's what personal branding is. And when you talk about it again, we're controlling the narrative. For example, you could be a mom, you could be a CEO, and you could be someone's wife. But you could choose to only show the CEO version of you online only. No one will ever know about your husband. No one will ever know that you have children, right? Does this mean that you're not being authentic? No, it just means that you're only showing a side of you. You're intentional with what you're bringing out to the world. You see?
Yeah.
So when you talk about personal branding, it's how intentional we are with controlling the narrative, with controlling how people experience us. And this happens both online and offline. And I think for today, the conversation is how do people experience you online?
Yeah.
And if in case you've not noticed, I'm a yapper, I can go on and on. So feel free
no.
to stop me.
And now, I would now want to ask. Okay, this is a conversation I had to randomly ask people at work today. Now I would want to ask so that it can guide like the next conversation. What do you hate, or what behavior or habit, apart from Kenyans being online bullies? What behavior do you hate when you just open social media, then you just see something and it pisses you off? About the digital etiquette. So what pisses you off in social media? Random question.
That's a really good one, and you're putting me on the spotlight. So just top of my note has come. You see, for me, I create my content on LinkedIn, right? Mostly, that's the platform that has really grown. I think I'm about maybe 100 people shy of 29,000. So as someone who has perceived influence on LinkedIn, you find that people will create content that I don't know these people. I'm not in any way related to, even what I talk about and what they talk about is extremely different. And now they tag me on their content. I don't know you. I don't even know the content. Maybe you're talking about physics or science, and me talk about personal branding. Why are you tagging me on your content? And sometimes they say it's to ride on that person's already built audience. So why are we trying to take shortcuts? And it's one thing if you come and request me if you request that you tag me. That you can tag me on a post, that's fine, But out of nowhere, we've not even had. I don't even know who you are. We've never related in any way, and you're tagging me on a post, no. So that's one way, or that's one thing that really pisses me off. And I think we're going to talk about how to approach people, and don't leave a bad taste in their mouth, because you can't just, that's like taking advantage of someone, Anyway, yeah, that's what pisses me off.
I think we share the same should I say, I don't know the right word, but I also hate it. Not just on LinkedIn, but nowadays WhatsApp has introduced the mention aspect.
Yes. Yes.
Unafungua tu WhatsApp unapata someone has mentioned you and you're like, okay. Viewing what has been mentioned, you're like, okay, no. Facebook the same. And for Facebook, you even feel like, I think there was a time I approached someone and just told them, okay, please don't tag me again. Don't highlight me, because they have posted, sometimes they have posted nudity, pornography, and they are tagging you. They don't even mind. You might lose a job. You might just lose a chance or an opportunity just because someone tagged you without your consent. And I think another thing is people posting you taking photos. Now that squeezy, there is a consent for taking photos, so you're in a certain group, and then unaona tu mtu ametoa camera, already they have taken a photo of you. And right now I'm so keen on personal branding. I don't want to just appear in some post somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
So I think another one, and that too, actually, before people, for example, in social spaces, you've gone out, for example, you're somewhere having a good time, and then someone's taking a photo of you and immediately posting without your consent.
yeah, and then
Which
they
pisses
tag you.
me. And then they tag you. What do you mean you're tagging me? And you see, we're talking about controlling the narrative, right? And then you're trying to, yeah. So that pisses me off as well.
So
Anyway, I think we'll go deeper into that. But I might as well say this thing, the other thing. You create really good content. Maybe you say something really unique, and then someone comes and credits and does not credit you. They go and copy everything you said, and they don't credit where it came from.
yeah, that is also quite something that pisses me off. So on that whole matter, how do we deal with respect around social media? How do we handle such occasions, or such instances where you feel you have been disrespected, and you feel like your brand or your personal face has been tarnished, just because this person has decided, okay, let me just tag Daisy, someone will see. 29,000 people will come see. How do we deal with that?
Yeah, I get you. And yeah, and there's actually something called defamation, right?
Yeah.
And with defamation, there's two main types of. First of all, defamation is when someone makes a false statement about another person that damages their reputation.
Yeah.
And remember, especially in this context, when you're building personal brands and we're really careful about people's perception of us, then this is something that we need to look out for. So we have libel defamation, which is now what you're talking about right now. Written or published defamation. Say someone comes and says something that you did, something, oh, Daisy was caught with who, and it's a lie on social media, right? That's published defamation. That's libel, right? Then you have something we call slander, which is spoken defamation. Speeches in a conversation or a video. You're just talking in a speech somewhere and you say, the former president stole what, who, or who from who, and you don't have any proof to back it up, right?
Yeah.
That's what defamation is, right? So it's something that's false and is presented as a fact and is communicated to other people, and it causes harm to their reputation, their career, or even their relationships. I mean, how many relationships have been broken because of people being defamed online, right? But now, when it happens, you can, most times for me, if it's not something too major, you can actually just ignore. For me, actually, when I find people have tagged me online, I just go and delete the tag from their posts, right? And I move on with life. But now you see, if you're to tag me with, say, something pornographic or something that I did not consent to, trust me, imagine we will go the law route. You just get a lawyer and you go on with it. But most times, if it's not that big of a deal, just tell them not to do it again and remove the tag if you can, and just move on with your life. Because also, there's only so much that you can do that is within your control. There are things you may not be able to control, and that's okay. Yeah. Plus, you see, if you've created an authentic personal brand, even when it goes out, people will know for sure that this is defamation. This is false, because it is not what people know you for. And people can tell authenticity, people who are authentic from people who are not authentic, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I think on that you have said, we have so much power in our hands to control what we can. And on the other side, I think I would also add, before you tag someone, please slide to their DM. Please request.
Exactly.
Exactly. It is only a yes or a no answer. If someone is not willing to allow you to tag them, just respect their decision, because I don't think it is okay umetag msee and then unapata alitoa hiyo tag yako. So
yeah, fair point.
So I think that is also something that we could talk about in respect. So what do you have to say about, we are living in an era of self-love, self-care. When I go MIA, you work with brands, saying clients are reaching out to someone or friends are looking out to someone and they're being ignored. Is that digital etiquette to just go MIA, to ignore messages and be like, I'm in my self-care mode? Self-love is the best form of love. Please, I have time for myself, so I'm not, you have 5,000. Well, I understand it is not a must for people to keep on replying to your messages ASAP, but blue ticks, grey ticks. I think there's someone who ever asked me, do I prefer a grey tick or a blue tick? I'm like, don't just ignore me intentionally because I love a grey tick or because I love a blue tick. Yeah. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah. So first of all, for me, even we actually have grey ticks, just so that you don't have to know, or you can never see my last scene, because that's none of your business. But I also think boundaries are important. I think boundaries are important even online, right? And remember, we defined digital etiquette as how people experience you online, and how what you do affects others online, right?
Yeah.
So actually, let's break it down, right? Let's talk about first what digital etiquette practices what digital etiquette looks like. And remember, it's digital to manisha everything online. So come an email. Let's even start. Let's go step by step. Come an email. Why are you sending someone an email that does not have a clear subject line, so that the reader knows the purpose of this thing, right? And then you don't just go into it and just say, so I want ABCD, right? You just start with maybe a warm hi, how are you? And then now you state your message, keep it short, direct, and avoid slang, right? And then end with, because Gen Z is peace, whatever. Just try to be respectful, right?
Yeah.
That's email. Let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we have how you see, when you're trying to connect with someone, you can choose to send a personalized connection request, or you can choose to just click the connect button. So a good rule of thumb is to personalize the connection request, because it shows that you've actually thought through that person, and you've given it some thought before sending that connection request. I'll tell you for sure, for me, every time someone sends a personalized connection request, even if I didn't think that we are aligned in any way or another, I will always accept that person's connection request, because you can tell that they're intentional even when they're connecting with you, right? And then even when you see on LinkedIn, for example, how there's always people who just like to say congratulations or just applauses, generic, which is really generic praise. Imagine, comment thoughtfully. If you have a question to ask, ask that question and use respectful language. Actually say I love LinkedIn because even when people don't agree with each other, they argue, but they argue in corporate. They keep it very respectful as compared to or as opposed to like TikTok and other platforms, right? And then respect people's boundaries. Now, because you're on LinkedIn and you've seen this person is a good opportunity, is someone you'd want, you don't just go to them and speak business right away. Try to cultivate and nurture a relationship first, right?
Yeah.
Just don't go straight to, I'm looking for an internship, can I join your organization? No, you can start by saying, I've been following your work and what you do. I think what you do for this company is amazing. I love that you're doing ABCD. And then just say, I'd love to have a coffee with you if possible, something like that. Right? And then let's go to like even Zoom and Google Meets, virtual meetings, right? Do you know it's actually good behavior to join on time? Don't wait. It's a virtual meeting. Why are you late for a virtual meeting? First of all, that's not good etiquette. It's not good digital etiquette. And if possible, especially if it's a formal setting, imagine keep your camera on.
Okay.
And if you won't have your camera on, actually excuse yourself, right? And then there's usually this: we've joined a meeting, and then you're not speaking, but your audio is you've not muted your audio, so everyone can see. Even if you're cooking, sijui unaitwa na mama yako uko kwa background, sijui nini, you know. I mean, it's only good etiquette to mute when you're not speaking at these online meetings to avoid background noise and to also avoid distracting other people in the meeting. And then there's this other thing: you have your camera on and we can visibly see you unakatakata nyanya ama tunakuona tu kwa simu tu una scroll and we are online, you know. So for those professional settings, that's how you approach it. Then now let's talk about now what you had said, WhatsApp. First of all, nowadays
Hi.
because I have WhatsApp, I think you have access to me. Kwanza hiyo kwanza tatuanze tu na hiyo. And I strive to say this every so often, especially when you're reaching out to people who are not your friends, even if you're trying to make acquaintances, even with your friends. So my friends argue that I speak to them too much in corporate, but this is what you do. You can't just text someone hi. People are too busy to respond to hi. You know? Go and say, hi, Daisy, I hope you're having a good day. I was wondering if we could meet for ABCD. Thanks. Info. You know, but if you text me hi and expect me to respond hi back with everything else that I'm supposed to do, it's quite serious.
Yes,
no?
Especially if it is a new number, like a new hi, then you get a little bit free, so you text like after 2 hours, you say hi to, how are you? I'm like
no, we don't have time for that. And you see, again, even when you're being intentional with how you present yourself, think about how the other person will perceive you as well. If you're just texting hi and moving on with your life, you know, just go straight to the point. People actually appreciate that and they'll perceive you in a better way. You get?
Yeah.
And then the thing is, imagine it's okay if that person does not respond to you immediately. So if someone has blue ticked you, life is happening for everyone, right? It's okay. They will respond to you when they do. And I actually think it's self-care to just ignore your messages and go away and just, go away and do other things. Actually, for me, now that, and it's a bad habit that I'm now trying to work on, which is my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is my primary mode of communication for business. And you see, I'm using the same phone, my same phone number for my personal phone number for business. So sometimes my WhatsApp is filled with clients and like work things to the point it gets overwhelming that I just don't open the app. But now you see, the problem is sometimes maybe my mom has texted me something, or my sister has texted me something, or my friends are looking for me. And now because I have ghosted, now it is, now even them, they end up getting ignored. And you see, so my advice is to me and to anyone else who's also in the same situation, actually separate your business and your personal line. so that even when you're intentionally taking a break, say over the weekend, you can actually choose to ignore the business one, but your personal one stays on, right? Because also it's not good digital etiquette for you to ignore your mom's message or your friend's message and probably they need you urgently, right? Also, imagine avoid sending people messages late at night. Respect that it's late unless these are your friends or your family. But if it's like business or anything that is not within the family and friends space, avoid sending people messages late at night. And then this thing of forwarding unverified information, or sijui kuna new disease that has come up, or sijui watu wanaambiana nini, be careful. It's our parents that are really prone to these things. Unakuambia something, you're like, mom, clearly this is a lie. Hata wewe huoni, you know?
And yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So exactly. Ati sijui Chris Brown na Rihanna wako na mtoto. Surely, you know, that's for WhatsApp and now messages, right? And then let's now go to like this social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Imagine, like we said, always ask someone before tagging them in photos. And then umewekwa kwa close friends, right? Pale Instagram. Now you now go screen record and then now you share it with people. What is that?
Oops.
You know, if someone has trusted you enough to have you in their close friends list, then respect that trust, right?
Yeah.
And then this thing of DMing people, hi, pale kwa DMs, pale Instagram. And then if they don't respond, you push them. I mean, people have a right to whether or not they'll give you access to them. And it's okay. You keep it respectful, right?
Yeah.
And even when you're posting someone else's work, imagine credit them.
Yeah.
Credit that person. Yeah, don't just take their work and post it as your own. Just say you were inspired by this person and you created this, right?
Yeah, I think you have mentioned screenshots and I remembered. I have seen a meme lately. There's a meme that was saying, siku hizi unakatia dem WhatsApp unakuta screenshot TikTok. Like,
this trend. You've seen that trend on TikTok.
Yeah.
Shout out to the man of the year or
the
something.
man of the year. Like, oi. We are living in a screenshot world, quote in quote, for people who are listening outside.
It's sort of agree with that trend because men out here be
But anyway, you could be having a conversation with someone somewhere, and all of a sudden you see it on their wall, and you're like, wait. So I think I told myself, sensitive conversations, let me just have them over call, because yes, screenshots might be flying everywhere. But I also think that is quite something.
Yeah, but also just to add on to that before we go on, remember, we love to say these days, because you're in a digital world, even when you're applying for that job, you know, the recruiter will first Google you. They'll Google your name and they'll see what comes up.
Yeah.
So if you have applied for this job and you're there on X saying men are dogs, street women as street gold diggers, and you know, saying all manner of slander, then it affects even your chances of getting jobs, right?
True. I think I was telling someone, I am so keen, and I think I have mentioned, I'm so keen on what I post, who I tag, who tags me, because I have done several programs and each of them required me to send my social profiles. So you can imagine.
Exactly.
You can imagine they go through something that I wrote 3 years or 5 years ago, that is not really pleasing, that is...
Exactly. Also, you just ask yourself the question: if you were standing before someone and they were looking at you while scrolling through social media and seeing everything, your digital footprint, what it looks like, is it something you are able to, would you like smile and say yes, that's me, or you'd feel embarrassed and not want to be associated with the activity that you've been having online? And you know, right now, people can trace what you do, even if you have a pseudo account. In one way or another, if they are intentional about knowing who the one is behind the pseudo account, they'll find you.
Yeah, you can never too hide, and social media doesn't forget.
And then there's this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go to group chats. WhatsApp group chat. This is a group chat for work, right?
Yes.
It is especially to bring people together to get jobs, maybe say even internships. And then unakuja unatuletea gossip ya huko Nairobi Gossip Club, at is G, Diana, B, and who. And the group chat has a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Or adding people to the group and you've not asked for consent.
Yes. Why didn't I mention that?
Also, ask people before you add them to the group. Ask them if they want to be part of the group. Don't just add me to a random group.
A wedding group.
Exactly. Hey, this is a wedding. I barely know the couple. Menieka kwa group ya mchango. Actually, that's a different conversation, but anyway. I just seek people consent first, right?
Yeah. Also, I think on group walls, there's a habit of, you are just discussing your stuff and then you start trolling, abusing. Like, I don't know whether you have had such an experience where you were in a certain group and then a political discussion just comes up. That is not the purpose of the group, or a political discussion comes up, or football. Usikia wase wa Man U, wase wa Chelsea, so the whole group inakuwa in chaos just because of this discussion. So inabidi admin ana close the kwanza anafunga so that admins can only send messages, just because people were quarreling and they were throwing tantrums and chaos in the group. I think that is also something that not very good in online.
Yeah. Plus, I would say it's okay. Like, there's friendly banter, of course, and especially as Kenyans, we really love banter.
Yeah.
But there's a thin line between banter and actually bringing out. You see how they say, what is this thing that they say? Giving backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
Like, sasa inakuwa banter, but you're like, ay, siwa umekuwa personal. So, yeah, you're right. Just keep it friendly banter. Don't be respectful of people and how. Actually, a simple rule of thumb is to just treat these digital spaces like you would face-to-face conversations.
Yeah,
you respect people's time, their privacy, and even the tone of how you deliver the message.
Yeah, because I think, hey, you have talked about tone, and I have remembered. What is your say about texting in capital letters? What?
Shout, yeah? You're shouting at me.
I was asked someone and they're like, no, that is not shouting. I'm like, no, you don't just type. Of course, there are days you do it unintentionally. Maybe you're using your laptop and oops, kumbe caps lock was on. But no.
Yeah, don't shout at me. Also, using relevant. Yeah. Also, sorry. I think I cut you off there.
Not really. I think you were saying something, using relevant something.
Oh, using relevant emojis. Like that peach emoji, for example. You come and use it online. And it means something else altogether.
And
right?
Stickers.
And I noticed, by the way, different people have different cultural meanings. For example, pink in the Western countries and pink for a brand here in Africa may mean different things, So even these emojis, and this, I think our parents also become the culprits. You find they're sending you that cucumber emoji or that that one.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my goodness, guys, this has a different meaning. I must say, actually, the world is moving so fast. Sometimes you see people, especially, like, I know I'm Gen Z, but sometimes I'm just like agencies, man. Sasa sahi unamaanisha nini with these emojis, honestly, you know?
Yeah, and
But
words,
anyway,
like words
people
have
have to
also
keep
like
up.
changed meaning. So even as I think we come into a conclusion of the matter on digital etiquette, there is,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned something when we were starting about oversharing. You mentioned, drawing the line of, I want people to just know me as a CEO, but not as a mother, not as a wife, not as a, but where do we draw the line between, like, this is my private life, when I share this I'll be oversharing, and there's also the aspect of, there's freedom of expression, so I want people to know me as this. So where do we draw the line between,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a really good question. And the truth is, I
Mm-hmm.
would say honestly, it's up to you, right? You know
Yeah.
why I say that? It
Mm-hmm.
really is up to you what you find comfortable and what you find uncomfortable to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me give an example.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a lifestyle creator,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a lifestyle creator
Mm-hmm.
and people are coming to you, say because you talk about you and your husband
Mm-hmm.
and how you live life,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many marriages that are saved or get better simply because they watch how you and your husband right? So you might find that this couple decides to share their couple journey online and decide to never show their kids because
Mm-hmm.
for them that's what
Mm-hmm.
they've decided is the boundary. That's what they've decided is where they draw the line.
Yeah.
Other people
Mm-hmm.
will create content with their kids but will never show the partner,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
for them, they have their own reasons why, and that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Aya. Other people may choose for people to not even know the businesses that they run, and that's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
all this to mean, it really depends on,
Mm-hmm.
remember, you're controlling the narrative and you're controlling people's
Mm-hmm.
perception of you. So if it's beneficial for you to share your life with your boyfriend, go for it. If it's beneficial for you to share your life with your boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
go for it by all means. If beneficial for you not to share that, because for example, trying
Mm-hmm.
to be seen as no, let me not use that. No, remember, again, people will judge you based on what you put out. People will judge you regardless,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, but
Mm-hmm.
more so they'll judge you based on the content that you put out. So the idea is to just be intentional. And once you realize, maybe for example, you posted your kids and the reception is bad, or you realize people are starting to make bad comments or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you just withdraw. See, must you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's up to you to determine what you want to put out and what you don't want to put out, and that's okay, because
Mm-hmm.
again, we have free will. There are people who, for example, see, we have solid porn stars, like them, they earn money from sharing pornographic content online,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So for them, see, they decided that's not a boundary, and I guess for them that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, wait.
Yeah, so it's just dependent on you and your values and how you want the world to experience you, is what I would say.
I have just remembered something very, very critical.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's partly digital, partly offline, because using phone, like, it's a phone etiquette kinda. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know how these days we are always scrolling. Family gather, we are in a family gathering, we are scrolling. You are waiting for your interview turn, you are just scrolling. Maybe you are in a
Yeah,
public place, when you are with your friends, you set aside time to go
yeah.
meet, or for a sleepover, you are scrolling your TikTok, you have received your call, you have gone forever, like.
I agree. Especially that, and it can, you now you're like, if we are here hanging out together, then why it feels like there's a disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
because why are we together instead of talking and me asking you how you are, we are
Mm-hmm.
both scrolling on our phones. Si basi hata kila mtoto angekaa nyumbani basi. It also really, that pisses me off as well. And it's popular with us young people, and sometimes we don't even notice we are doing it, you
Yeah.
know
Especially, I
yeah.
think the older generation, our parents keep on, complaining. Someone was saying, or a meme I saw somewhere, when you are at home and you start saying you have a headache, you have malaria, and your mom tells you, "Nia simu," because phone for a long time. And they're like, that
Yeah,
could be the
yeah.
only reason. So guys, let's not do that to our people. Let's not use our phones too much, especially when we are around family, friends, catching up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take the time and be present. Be fully present in that moment. And also I think we are on our phones a bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
So before the day has even started, you're already overstimulated. You've already seen ads, you've already seen Sri who's getting married, Sri who had a child, Sri who went to the UN,
Mm.
Sri who, and you've not even started your day. By the time you wanna get your things done, you already feel so demotivated. And
Mm-hmm.
remember again,
Mm-hmm.
people only show versions. Again, we are controlling the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only showing versions of ourselves that we want people to know and
Yeah.
notice, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then you end up feeling depressed, you end up feeling low, and someone's lying
Mm-hmm.
on the
Yeah.
other end. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever is making you feel depressed is not even the truth. It's just them controlling the narrative, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think this
Yeah.
is quite a discussion that needs people to just go and reflect and think about how we are controlling the narrative. So if someone is out there, a call to action. If you have been posting things and commenting ill on people's videos, you can go pull them pull them posts off. If you've been tagging people without their consent, call to action.
Absolutely.
Go and apologize. Yeah. But always seek for consent. So, Daisy, what is the one last word that you
Yes.
would want to tell our audience about digital etiquette? And personal branding, to be very specific.
I want you to remember that your personal brand is how people experience you both online and offline. So even when you're saying to be respectful and all this, also don't hide your personality, you know?
Mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm,
you're bubbly, let that come out. Don't
mm-hmm,
try to now because it's LinkedIn, for example,
mm-hmm,
or everyone here is just very serious. Yes, yes, people are serious, but
mm-hmm,
they also connect with you because of your personality. So
mm-hmm,
let that shine, let that come out.
mm-hmm,
That is what actually build strong personal brands because people feel like anyway they know who you are,
mm-hmm,
they know what your values are, they know what you stand for, and you see, people follow you. No, actually, I've just remembered something else. But people follow you because of who you are,
mm-hmm,
because they can see some aspects of yourself in them. That's
mm-hmm,
what we call relatability. That's why they'll keep coming back. That's why they listen to your podcast, for example,
mm-hmm.
because they feel like they relate with the conversations or they feel like they're learning, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that I'd like people to know is, especially now that everyone's online, everyone's trying to build a solid following and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm,
Imagine even 50 people is imagine 50 people in a class. That's a class imager, you know. So
mm-hmm,
even if you have 50 people online who follow you and maybe you're trying to be a content creator,
mm-hmm,
still act the way you would if you had 10,000 people,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, because and remember, these are people. They're not just numbers, you know, because of social media. Or someone has a million followers. Imagine what a million followers looks like.
Mm-hmm. Wait a million
Imagine what
people.
even 100. Imagine 100 people. You're seeing church imager.
The church was just chilling.
Okay. The church was just chilling. And then, yeah. So for me, I'd just say keep it respectful. Even if it's 50 or 1,000 or 3,000, these are people, and these are people who are there's something about you that they like and that's why they clicked follow.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, just be respectful, just appreciate them. Don't beat yourself up if you're trying to grow a podcast, for example, like me with my 200 subscribers over there on YouTube. um, don't beat yourself up too much and just continue being intentional with the content that you're putting out,
Mm-hmm.
with even how you yourself you're putting yourself out there, you know. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my parting.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Thank you so much, guys. I know you have gotten much from this podcast. You can tell us what your takeaway is, or what pisses you off when you get into social media. What thing are you, learning, and what are you unlearning, and what are you relearning? So thank you so much, Daisy, for your time. And for the nuggets that you have dropped here, I have loved the conversation.
Me too, me too. Thank you for inviting me to come on this podcast. Actually, this is the first time I'm a guest on a podcast.
Ah, wow, that's a milestone. Eish. And please
Yeah,
go listen to
thank you for
Daisy's
the opportunity.
podcasts. Mm. Mm.
Yes, my podcast is Growing Out Loud. It's available on YouTube and on Spotify. Please also tell us what you think. I have conversations around building businesses, startups more so, and also if you're someone who's taking an unconventional path. Unajua zile zenye wazazi wanakuangalianga ukiwaambia unataka kukuwa DJ and then wako like wewe wacha jokes wewe. Or whatever, if you're doing it something unconventional and you just need a group of people who get it, then Growing Out Loud is the podcast for you. Also, you can follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Daisy KETER. On there, I share content on personal branding, personal development, and entrepreneurship also. Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, till we meet again next time. Bye.